Hello, thanks for joining me on Life and Surround. It's another quick and dirty review today. I'm just going to try to tell you what you absolutely need to know. Life's been busy, 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 mostly in a good way. I've been doing a lot of mountain biking and also trying to progress on a motorcycle project, though I have next to no idea what I'm doing, and it's going to take forever if the thing ever even runs. So anyway, music. What is going on lately? We had Steven Wilson's The Future Bites, and it's cool that he's trying new stuff, but it's a bit light in the musicality and rock areas. And let me see. We are anticipating some giant US album from the 90s that he's working on right now, 92-track album. So a lot of us are trying to speculate what that could be. Maybe Pearl Jam, maybe Guns N' Roses, maybe Counting Crows, but I'm not sure they had a lot of money for production in their early days. We'll see. I'd personally love Red Hot Chili Peppers. That'd be pretty cool. But, so yeah, I'm going to review for you something that is not really Steven Wilson related, but if you have been needing that progressive rock in the classic term of the word, fix, man, oh man, this is it. There is a bit to dig into here, but this is the absolute universe, the ultimate version in high-res, stereo, and also high-res 5.1, all lossless. So you get DTS, HD Master, or LPCM for 5.1. And let me see, you get a making of documentary, and just about a double album. It really is a double album. I watched this in like two roughly 45-minute segments, I would say, plus another evening for the making of. So you get a lot of content on this solo Blu-ray, the first run of which already sold out like almost instantly, it seems. And so people are pre-ordering now. I think you can pre-order from Neil Morse's webpage and maybe Racket Records too. I got mine from Racket Records. So I think they're associated with Racket Records because of Pete Trowavas being the bass player from Marillion. That makes sense. So let me see, for those who aren't super familiar with Transatlantic, it is basically a prog super group. You have Mike Portnoy from Dream Theater. You have Royna Stolt from the Flower Kings. Neil Morse from himself. And didn't he do Spock's Beard? And finally, like I said, you have Pete Trowavas from Marillion. And, oh man, if you like prog rock in the classic sense of the word, not that an artist progressed to doing something different or unexpected, but, you know, that technical, epic, sprawling, daring, very musical, virtuosic type of rock music, do you need this? Well, one caveat is that this is my introduction to Transatlantic. I went and checked out a few tracks here or there just on Tidal. You could do the same on YouTube. So in terms of like whether this is a great Transatlantic album, the band sure thinks so, vis-a-vis their documentary. I find it to be thoroughly enjoyable. I would say if there is a weak link to the group, it's some of their singing. But for like four guys who just want to come together and be creative and have a great time and produce something to create something new, and maybe in a certain sense not take things super duper seriously, like just have a good time and do the best they can. I think the vast majority of the time the vocals fit the material. Just think that there could be some stronger singing at certain points. In my opinion, being kind of a vocal snob, it still gets a pass for me. I enjoyed it, and nothing was, you know, fingernails on a chalkboard. Let me see here. We have Rich Mauser doing the 5.1 mix, and I'm not familiar with him having done something before, so this is probably my introduction to his work. The 5.1 visuals, the visuals that you get to watch while you're listening to the album, Christian Rios and Daniel Levy. Geez, the visuals are sometimes funny, they're intriguing, they help keep some interest as you're kind of sitting there going through this, 90-minute feast. One comment, if you are actually familiar with Absolute Universe, but in another edition, there was the shortest version put out was meant to be just kind of a single album. There was a longer, a little bit more epic version, and then this is like sort of a mix of them both. So it is the longest version, it's called the Ultimate version. Yeah, I think it's good. I think I made a good choice pausing it halfway through, and then I picked it back up. Yeah, I stopped after The World We Used to Know. I picked it back up with The Sun Comes Up Today, and I think that was a super good choice because it has this vocal a cappella moment that's exquisitely mixed in surround, definitely makes use of the entire room, and it reminds me of the beginning of the Beatles' Love DVD audio, the Cirque du Soleil soundtrack, which begins with Because, and just the way that the vocals are spread out is just kind of bone-chilling, and you get that moment here. And then there's also a super great moment, again, a vocal a cappella moment during the track Belong. There are quite a few surround standout moments when a synthesizer goes ping-ponging around the room, or a guitar part, maybe by use of the reverbs or the echoes or the delays from the guitar, will start in the fronts, emanate to the rears. Always love that kind of thing. Like I said, there are some vocal a cappella standout moments. Things that are going to reside usually in the surrounds are going to be your supportive materials. A lot of tambourine, a lot of shaker back there, some acoustic guitar parts if they're supportive and not the main accompaniment. And even, like I said, some lead parts if the mixer felt like having a little bit of fun traveling the part around the room. You're mainly going to have the main musical parts situated up front. Mike Portnoy's drums don't make it into the surrounds. The bass, as it should be, is front and center. And most of the time, main vocals, maybe all the time, I'll just go ahead and say like background vocals can be situated in the surrounds, but main vocals are up front, which is typical. That's mixing 101. Not sure, I would prefer something else. And then you have supportive elements in the surrounds. And so my commentary on the surround mix is that it's not just double stereo, it does have discrete elements in the surrounds. The mix feels to me, though, like it's a bit inconsistent. Like, if you're going to park supportive elements in the surrounds and they aren't present all the time, you gotta also have some other stuff back there. Like, pull the drums out into the room more so that you get some drum accents at least. I guess in a way I'm arguing that the mix sometimes should be less discrete, just because sometimes listening to this, like, it feels like the whole thing is front-centric, and then you get surround elements coming in, and so I guess just a more consistent use of the surround field more of the time would be my preference. But I mean, the album does sound great in Lossless 5.1. I listened to the LPCM version. The bass is just thundering. I would say it's kind of a blend of Chris Squire's and Geddy Lee's best tones. Thoroughly satisfying. Drums, extremely articulate and powerful. Booming kick drum, very powerful, very satisfying. I feel like I'm not missing anything. You have supportive elements popping out, pianos, guitars, electric and acoustic. You have Moogs and Mellotron. It really is prog rockers dream come true that, there's a new legit prog rock album out. It has virtuoso playing, as I stated, generally good singing, lyrically and musically. It holds my interest. There's not really any cringy moments, though they do have some, lighter-hearted moments like Owl Howl. One of my favorite songs might be Rainbow Sky, though I do need to go through it. And I like how they gave this an epic feel by returning some main themes back into the album toward the end. I always like it when prog rock albums like bookend. So you definitely get some guys who intended to do something weird and proggy, technical, difficult, creative, epic. And, I like something that they said in their documentary. It is all well and good if an artist just wants to do whatever they want, and if the fans like it, they do, and if they don't, who cares? But these guys all wrote with the sensibility of trying to put something out that they know their fans would appreciate. And I also don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's not like they did it worried about sales. That's not the impression that I got, but just that they know they've developed a sound, they've developed a style together in their 20 years. And I think at times subverting expectations can go overboard. Like with the latest Star Wars movies, I just can't watch them. So I think there's something to be said for if you have developed a signature to deliver on that, and then also look for your opportunities to push boundaries, try new things. Like I said, I'm not super familiar with the history of Transatlantic, but they claim that they have done so here, so I'll take their word for that. Would love to hear from Transatlantic fans what you think in terms of the prowess of this album. Is it among their best? Does it fall short for you? Does it do anything new and creative in your opinion, or is it just sort of the same thing? If it is, it works for me, because like I said, it's my intro, and I'm gonna give the mix, a passing grade. I think that it could be a little better, a little bit more consistent, but it is engaging for the style that, Rich Mauser chose, to just have like main stuff up front, supportive stuff in the surrounds, and maybe just not enough glue holding it together. But still enjoyable, especially with the visuals. Songwriting does it for me. If the songwriter typically sang the parts, I'm gonna say that I think I tend to gravitate toward the Neil Morse material. But plenty of awesome stuff from the other guys too. The only guy who doesn't get a writing credit is Mike Portnoy, and they make some fun of that in the documentary. They're having a good time with it. Oh man, excellent playing. In my opinion, excellent sound, sufficient surround mix, and something kind of new and fresh, even though they chose to make a prog rock album, like I said, in the classic sense of that word, everything that goes with that. But there's room in my life for prog, and I think they did this really well. Now, the benchmark for 5.1 mixing, in my opinion, to this point, is Steven Wilson's A Farewell to Kings by Rush. So I think it ought to be like almost required viewing, required listening for up and coming 5.1 mixers to put on Rush, A Farewell to Kings. Very discreet, very experimental, very daring, but has that glue holding it together, particularly the way Neil Peart's toms wrap around the room. Like, I would love to hear Mike Portnoy's as well, since he writes extremely intricate parts with lots of tom rolls. So just saying, that's why I wanted to have this out here, is just like a reminder of like how good it can get, And this ain't too shabby though. It's available, if I understand, in like mega, super deluxe type of thing as well. But I'm always grateful when labels put out a standalone that's affordable for those of us who really just want the surround mix. Alright, so please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave your comments, share the video. All of that kind of thing helps this channel reach more people with the love of music in surround. And until next time, live life in surround.